You spent good money on that gorgeous fragrance oil, crafted a beautiful batch of soap, and then unmolded it a few weeks later only to smell absolutely nothing. Heartbreaking, right? I am Kathy the Clumsy Soaper, and today we are going to tackle scent fade and fix it fast. You will learn why scents disappear in cold process and hot process soap, which fragrance types hold up best, and what you can do right now to lock that scent in for the long haul. Let us get your soap smelling exactly the way it should. You poured your heart into that batch, chose a gorgeous fragrance, unmolded it with excitement, took a big sniff, and got soap. Just soap. No scent. That moment is genuinely frustrating, and it happens to makers at every level. Scent fade in cold process soap is the single most common complaint I hear from soapers worldwide. And the good news is, it is almost always preventable, once you understand exactly why it happens. So let us talk about why scent fade actually happens, because once you understand the cause, the fix becomes obvious. Cold process soap goes through saponification, which is a highly alkaline chemical reaction. That lye environment is aggressive, and it literally breaks apart fragrance molecules, particularly your top notes, those light, bright, citrusy, and floral compounds that evaporate quickly anyway. Think of it like using bleach near a flower arrangement. The delicate stuff disappears first. Beyond the lye issue, most scent fade traces back to 3 root causes: using too little fragrance oil to begin with, selecting carrier oils that do not hold scent well, and skipping any kind of anchoring strategy. All 3 are completely fixable, and that is exactly where we are headed next. Let me talk about fragrance usage rate, because this is honestly where most beginners leave scent on the table without even realizing it. PPO means per pound of oils, and it is your benchmark measurement for how much fragrance oil you add relative to your total oil weight. Most beginners default to 3 to 4% PPO, which feels safe and conservative. But here is the problem. Soap batter is a harsh alkaline environment, and a significant portion of your fragrance simply does not survive saponification. Think of it like seasoning a large pot of stew. If you season timidly, by the time it cooks down, you taste almost nothing. You have to go in stronger up front to end up with the flavor you actually want in the finished product. Bumping to 6 to 8% PPO compensates for that chemical loss and ensures enough fragrance molecules remain bound in the finished bar to deliver a noticeable scent experience. One critical checkpoint before you scale up: always verify your specific fragrance oil's maximum safe usage rate with your supplier. Some fragrance oils have skin-safe caps set by the International Fragrance Association, or IFA, guidelines, and exceeding those limits can cause skin sensitization, regardless of how good the scent smells. Stay within the vendor's recommended maximum and then push toward that upper boundary with confidence. Now, here is a technique that makes a real difference in how long your soap smells. Anchoring with a base note is essentially the same principle as mixing paint with a fixative. The base note molecules are heavier and evaporate far more slowly, which physically slows down the escape of your lighter aromatic compounds sitting alongside them. Patchouli, vanilla, and cedarwood are your classic workhorses here. They have low vapor pressure, meaning they linger on the skin and in the soap bar for months rather than weeks. The practical guideline is to use 10 to 20% of your total fragrance weight as your base note component. That proportion is enough to meaningfully anchor your blend without the base note overwhelming your intended scent profile. The payoff is significant. Properly anchored blends genuinely last 3 to 4 times longer than unanchored ones. If you have ever made a lovely citrus soap and wondered why the scent disappeared within 3 weeks, this is exactly why. Citrus top notes evaporate rapidly without something heavy to slow them down. A small addition of cedarwood or vanilla changes that outcome entirely, and your customers will notice the difference. Step 3, which is adding your fragrance at thick trace. Timing your fragrance addition is everything. When your batter has reached a thick trace, your soap mixture has already gone through most of its initial exothermic reaction, meaning the temperature has dropped and the lye activity has calmed down significantly. This protects your fragrance molecules from that harsh alkaline and thermal degradation we talked about earlier. Think of it like adding fresh herbs to a dish right at the end of cooking, rather than the beginning. You preserve all that volatile aromatic complexity instead of boiling it away. When you do add your fragrance at thick trace, stir it in gently rather than aggressively. Vigorous mixing introduces air and accelerates saponification, which can cause ricing or seizing, and you lose control of your pour. Once it is incorporated, get that batter into your mold quickly. The longer it sits in the bowl, the more fragrance continues to volatilize into the air around you instead of staying locked inside your bar. The practical takeaway here is straightforward. Late addition consistently produces stronger scent in your finished cured soap compared to adding fragrance at light trace or into your oils before mixing. This is not a small difference either. Soap makers who make this one adjustment often report noticeably better customer feedback on scent strength without changing their fragrance percentage at all. That is a real cost-effective win for any soap business. So let us wrap up with 3 practical things you can take straight into your next batch. First, use more fragrance oil. 6 to 8% per pound of oils is the industry standard for cold process soap, and going to the higher end of that range gives you a buffer against evaporation losses during cure. Second, anchor your scent with base notes. Patchouli and vanilla are classic fixatives because their heavy aromatic molecules bind to the soap matrix and slow down overall scent loss. Third, add your fragrance at thick trace. At that point, saponification is already well underway, so your fragrance oil spends less time exposed to free lye, which is one of the primary culprits behind scent degradation. 3 simple adjustments, and your next batch will hold its scent significantly longer. So, to wrap things up, remember that scent fade is not a mystery. It comes down to your fragrance load, your oil selection, and how you cure and store your bars. These are decisions you make at the bench, not problems you fix after the fact. When you treat scent as a formulation choice, you take control of your finished soap. You have what it takes to make it right, on purpose, every single time. Once again, this is Kathy the Clumsy Soaper. Be blessed and be a blessing to others.